Donuts next hour.
Thank you.
You're live.
Unbelievable. All right. Today's Daf Pei. Unfortunately, we're in the middle of Daf Dalet.
Yes.
Finish it. We're holding 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16.
No.
Blind leading the blind.
It's a little. All right. This morning, happens once every half a year. Once in a while, I completely miss. But once in a while, I prepare the wrong Daf. It's also, and it happened to me as well. I haven't seen
6:30
Chicago.
tomorrow.
Yeah, Shabbos is 6:30 in B'nai Yeshivas.
Once in a while, he prepares the wrong Masechta. You don't know big deal.
Happens. All right.
V'hoya erkecha.
V'hoya erkecha l'rabois tumtum v'androgenos l'domim.
Which Masechta?
We're holding in Masechtas Arachin, Daf Dalet on the Beis, 16 lines from the battle. Arachin.
4 lines from the big lines.
Arachin.
4 lines from the big lines. Down.
4 lines from the big lines down. Rabbi Isai, I want to introduce you to today's sugya. It's a little complicated. It's back to Kachim basically. We're going to go through a little bit of Kachim. Now, before we start, we have this thing called Nidoy B'chvoidoi, which is very simple. It basically means Eiver Shanashama Tluyiba. It's a shorter, it's an abbreviation. Instead of saying Eiver Shanashama Tluyiba, you'll see it flows a little bit better. Because people had a difficulty. What's this Nidoy B'chvoidoi business? Meaning that if you say about Eiver Shanashama Tluyiba, I want to give this as Arachin, then it applies to the whole body. You say the head is Arachin, the whole body is Arachin. Okay, that's Nida Mechvayda. That's number 1. Here's number 2. I did it as bekitzer as possible. This is what we're going to be learning today. So we're going to go through a serious sugi. We're going to take us through Kachim a little bit. Basically, the sugi tells us that a tumtum is Nida Mechvayda. If you say on a tumtum that his head is Arachin, you're referring to his whole body. Then the Gemara is going to say that a head of an eved, a head of a donkey, is not Nidoi Mechvoidoi. Meaning, if you say this head of a slave or this head of a donkey is for the Mizbeach, not the whole eved goes to the Mizbeach. You become partners.
The era.
Yeah. No.
Not Damin.
Damin. We're going to see. Damin.
Dam.
Chachim Mizbeach is not Nidoi Mechvoidoi. Because the whole parsha of Nidan B'chvoidoi, the whole concept of Nidan B'chvoidoi is in our parsha of Arachin, which is Bedek HaBayis. Bedek HaBayis, the Torah tells us in the Fasha, is something that the Neshama is talking about, like we had yesterday. One of the limudim that we had from Nefesh, Nefasha, is Dava Shanashama Tluyiba, so it only applies to Bedek HaBayis. So therefore, if somebody is saying Kachim Mizbeach, it doesn't apply. Kedushas HaGuf, big Yisoid. Couple of this here. The kedusha, if somebody's magdish kedushas aguf, he says the whole animal should be kaddish for the mizbeach, kedushas aguf, then it goes, the whole kedusha goes in the whole body. And if you say kedushas damim, it doesn't. And kedushas damim, we're going to see, turns into kedushas aguf. If you're able to take an animal and say, I'm just designating the monetary value of this animal for hegdish, then it flips into Kedushas HaGuf. The animal turns into Kedushas HaGuf, and it's called a migui. Since it turns into damim, it could turn into guf. And then the Gemara says that if you just designate one aver into Kedushas damim, that doesn't get you to Kedushas HaGuf, because that requires 2 miguis. You have to go from one aver to the whole body. What I designated one aver, obviously we're going to explain all this by Riches. I'm just going real quickly. If somebody designates one aver, you could say, amigoy, since I did his leg, then his whole body just became Kaddish. And since his whole body just became Kaddish, Kedushas Damim, it turns into Kedushas HaGuf. That's 2 migoys that we don't say. Got it? We can go home now.
What's the practical difference between
Explain everything.
and Kedushas Damim?
Kedushas HaGuf is for the Mizbeach as a carbon, and Damim is. I need some water, please.
I want this donkey to be.
You thought they poured for you? From now on, it's for me. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. Here, I'm gonna pour for you. When they pour, it's for me.
Amen.
I still don't understand the difference.
Pour two, because even when you pour for me, sometimes he. Something
You
more
need
inside.
a special Rebbe's cup, I think. That's all.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all we like.
Start drinking coffee. What do you do with water? What is this?
Can't drink.
Oh, so Rabbi Isai, it says like this. Let's start the sugi. It's not? Yeah. No, I try to enlarge it, and it didn't look as good. So I went with the original. You came just in time. We're just starting the sugya. We did the review of the whole sugya. Now we're just. V'hoya erkecha. And this is, I don't want to, we have enough confusion in the sugya, but I'll just say it quickly. You understand it great, not. V'hoya erkecha is the concept of im enoi inyan lekan tneyu leinyan acher. I can't learn it for there, so I'm learning it. The concept for tumtum androgynos ledomen. What does that mean? A tumtum androgynos, they have value in the market. They have value. So Mamela, somebody could say on them, I want to donate whatever the tumtum androgynos is worth. That's what I want to give to the Beis Hamikdash. Ask the Gemara the obvious question: Damam lamali kra. What's the hava amina that I can't do such a thing? Of course, I could take anything in the world and say whatever value it has. I'm bringing the Beis Hamikdash. Lo yelo d'mei diklo. Why is he worse than a tree? Of course, if I say I'm bringing the value of a tree, so I bring a value of a tree. I say a value of a tumtum, I go to the market, I see how much a tumtum is worth. So here comes that interesting concept, this confusing word, but it's the simplest concept that we had 100 times. If a person talks about a very important limb, he says the heart, the head, a person cannot live without a head. So when he says, I am doing Arachin on the head of this tumtum, it goes in the entire body. That's the chiddush here.
Why would I think that it wouldn't be that way?
Oh, because he's not an Arachin. He can't
Be nerach.
be nerach. So memela I would think not. Komash alone, that's the chiddush here. It's a chiddush that's something we're going to see. A evet can't. This can, a chamor not, a tumtum could. So could I the chamino neder be'erke choksiv kol sheyeshli be'erchin nidoy b'chvoidoi. I would think that he has to be a nerach b'chol sheyni be'erchin. By the way, I did this for the end of the sugya. Might as well use it here. Why not? It's geshmak. Oh, not this one. Not this one. What about brother? Oh yeah, here we go. You want to know what a nerach and a marach is here? This is a nerach and a marach. A marach is the person saying it. The nerach is the person, is just the subject. He could be sleeping, he has nothing to do with it. And this guy says, Erkoi alai. The reason why they're not wearing yarmulkes is because the sugi later is talking about goyim. So I didn't feel it wasn't necessary at the time to do it, but this is a marach and a nerach.
I don't know, their nose is very Jewish.
And sleeping.
He could be sleeping. We're saying that tumtum and androgynos cannot be a nerach. As we explained yesterday, you have to be a vadai zachar, a vadai nikeva, so somebody can't point at you, tumtum, and say, you, erki olai. Fine? So good, I'm in a nerach. Sivkol sheyesh li berach nidim b'chvoidoi, v'chol sheyesh li berach nidim b'chvoidoi. Omalei abayo. Udeloi ise be'erchin. If a subject is not in the parsha of Erchin, how is it? Look, the tumtum is not in the parsha, so how come really he is in Erchin? We find another case that something is not in Erchin. What's not in Erchin? A donkey, a para. Botanya roish eved zehegdish, or somebody just magdish the head of a eved, who vehegdish shutfim boy. Right? Because an eved cannot live without a head. But it's not nispasha to his whole body. If I say the head of my slave is hegdish, I don't say, nidam b'chvoidoi. That would be the word nidam b'chvoidoi. That it goes from the head, goes down to the whole body. Ever shanashom etluyibo, I meant the whole body. No, you don't say that by a eved. So what do you do? Since the eved can't live without a head, and I just donated the head to hegdish, we're partners. Now, Pay attention to the word shutfim. It's not very important for the sugi, but Rashi points it out. It says shutfim. Rosh eved machar l'cha. If I sell the head of a slave, mishamnim b'neim. Now, me and the guy I sold it to go to the marketplace and figure out how much the slave is worth. We divide it. Just ask Rashi, what's the difference? Why does it over here use the lashon mishamnim, and over here it says shutfim? It's basically the same thing. I get 50%, Hegdish gets 50%. Okay, Taisus has some sort of the sheet on the side has a little bit of a pshat. We'll go back
You
there.
have to sell it? Get the money?
Whatever you want to do. You could say either you take half and I get the money. Let's sell it. We split the money. Or he works for me one day, he works for you one day. Whatever, however you want to do it.
Why is the head worth half?
Because a body without a head is nothing.
So,
But it's not the whole thing because it's not in the special the whole thing. It's mela half. Roish chamor zehegdish, same halacha. Hu vehegdish shutfim boy. Roish chamor mochalacha mishamnim v'neim. There's no difference between a head of a slave and a head of a donkey. The only difference is roish para mochalach. That's different. A cow is different. Loy mochar ela roish shapara. You actually sold off the head by itself because people put it in the chunk. V'layoy ela afilu roish para hegdish ein lahegdish ela roish shah. Fine. Even by Hegdish, the Hegdish only gets the value of the head, not the rest of the body. It's not 50-50. Bomer Apapa, he explains, I can sell off a head as is for the meat of it, but what about the head of a donkey? I could also sell it for a lion? No. I could, but that's not what people do, says Rashi. It's not the derech. And we're talking about what people speak. A person says, I am selling you the head of a donkey. He didn't mean I'm going to sell it to the zoo for lunch. He meant I'm selling you half my donkey. That's what he meant. It's just the lashon b'nei adam.
so for Rosh Hashanah.
Not the head of a donkey. The head of a cow, maybe.
Yeah.
Fine. V'ha chamoru para lesnu be'erechin b'nida b'chvoidoi. So over here you see the concept that a donkey and a para are not in erechin. Where are they? They're not in the parsha of erechin. It doesn't mention anything about an animal or any type of animal. And memela, it stays with the head. A person says head, he doesn't mean the entire body, he meant head. So memela bayos also a tumtum that's not in the parsha. If he says head, it should stay with the head. Why are you saying, why is Rava saying a chiddush that it goes from the head to the whole body? Ask Rava of the Tameich, Tikshilach Eved, the Issa Berechin, right? The first Mishnah in Berechin says, a slave is in the parsha, and yet you just told me that the head of a slave, Hegdish only gets 50%. According to you, Hegdish should get 100%, because when I said head, I meant the entire body. Elo lo yikash, here the Gemara introduces step number 1. It's not really a step, but these are chidushim, and we're just going, and we're going to learn a lot of chidushim today. Lo yikash, ho bekoche mizbeach, ho bekoche bedekabayis. When I say the head of a donkey, that whole Bryce is talking about when I was talking about mizbeach. The concept of going from a head to the rest of the body doesn't apply to koche mizbeach. If I want to designate something to mizbeach, I don't have that concept. Why? Because the whole concept of roish, being a body, is in the parsha of Bedekabayis, in the parsha of Erechim. When I donate money, I say Erki Olai, Erko Olai. Where does the money go to? It goes to Bedekabayis. And in that parsha, it says the word nefashis. And nefashis means my head, my whole nefesh. One head means my whole body. So it's only Bedekabayis. And over here, by the donkey, we're not talking about
roish behema zul hegdesh, I have to give the damim, the value of the damim of that head to Kochem
Yeah,
Mizbeach.
the whole animal.
What?
Not the whole animal.
If I say Mizbeach, right. Not the whole
Kochem
animal.
Mizbeach.
Not, it's a little off, 50%. The value of the head, the value of the head is 50%. You're right and you're not right. Not the value on the marketplace of $10 per pound, but 50% of the whole animal, because the head is 50%. Because you can't live without a head. The kids, so we made a 50%, but it's basically what you're saying.
And that should go on, if he says this head should be an oiler.
Oh, we're going to get there. Very good. You're touching upon points, and the Gemara goes through all these points. Very good. Oh, because this chidush of that a head, it means the whole animal, not 50% of the animal, isn't Bedekabayis. So b'mayikim, this is what Mr. Kornbluth brings up here. B'mayikim to b'kochim mizbeach. You tell me if I'm talking about a head of a cow, I meant dafke head of a cow, 50% of the animal. Aim a seifah. You guys spoke it out. If a person says, this head is hegdish, Eila hegdish ala roisha. Hegdish only gets its head, meaning 50%. Amai tifshu kedusha bekula. It should spread out the entire body. Miloi tanyo. And we had this sugi many times. It feels like we had it many times. Ragla shalzu oila. If a person is looking ahead at his own animal and he says, I want this only this leg to be an oila. What's the halacha machloikis? What's the question? Is it nispasha to the whole body or not? It's interesting. Both Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Shimon both use the same exact pasuk. They're focusing on different words of the pasuk. So Rabbi Meir is focusing on the word mimenu. Kol asher yitei mimenu. Mimenu means from it and not all of it. So Mamela, I could give part of an oila, I could give Takadosh Baruch Hu, I can make part of the oila an oila. It's not nispasha to the whole animal. Mimenu. Mimenu yeh kodesh. Mimenu kodesh v'lei kula kodesh. Yachol teitze lechulin. Okay, so if it's only part, maybe the whole thing should go out. Amaloi ma'yeh, babel seyitia. Hoketzad. So what do I do? If a guy messes up or he's playing around and he says the foot, the leg of this animal should be an oila. It can't be all oila. It can't be nothing. So what is it? It has to be sold to an individual that requires an oila. And listen to this. He sold the Ruvain an entire oila minus a leg. As Rashi brings the Gemara in Tmura, how in the world could that guy bring a oila minus a leg? You have to bring a whole oila. You can't bring a leg.
Everything is chulin.
No. So he's selling the oila, litzarke oila,
Yeah.
litzarech oila.
The me'achulin.
Ooh.
The me'achulin. The
No.
money is chulin.
Yeah. But the animal is not.
itself is not. Right.
You have an animal with a leg. I take money. I'm basically being pointed, so to speak.
Right.
I take money. He brings the oila to the mizbeach, but he has oil in his hand that doesn't have a leg. Okay, says Rashi, the Gemara over there answers that's talking about a specific case where he said Harei oila b'chaya. He's talking about I want the oila with all the living limbs. It doesn't include part of the leg. It's such a thing. Fine. I'm not going to concentrate on that, but Rashi brings up the point in case he had the kasha. But the Melchol is Rabbi Shabbat, the Remei, Rabbi Yehuda, the Remei, Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Shimon Oimrim. Minayin Loimer, we're just getting to the point. This is not the point. Minayin Loimer Raglash is oila shekula oila. If a person says just the leg should be a oila, the entire animal becomes oila. Tamid Loimer, ha oila sheitim mimenu Hashem. So they're focusing on the word kol, where Remei was focusing on the word mimenu. Kol sheitim means the entire animal became an oila. Yeah, kodesh. The rabbis is kula. Now, here's the point of the Gemara.
Even if he says it's not just half, it's not 50%.
No, it goes the whole thing. It's oila oila. So here we have a big kasha. We said before that if you designate just the head to the mizbeach, just the head becomes kadosh. 50% of the animal becomes kadosh. And over here it says mafurish that even Remeir, who argues when you say on a leg that it's kadosh, it's not kadosh the whole animal, just the leg. But if he says the head, everybody agrees. Even Remeir agrees that the whole animal becomes kadosh, the whole animal becomes oila. Loikashia, ha b'kedushas aguf, ha b'kedushas damim. When I'm being magdish the goof of the animal, then for the animal itself, then it goes and it becomes the whole animal becomes kadosh. Dushas damim is not like that. Dushas damim, it can remain just one aver. V'hamaru da'amar. So over here we have that point. It's a big yisoid in Shas. Dushas haguf, the whole animal becomes kadosh. Dushas damim not. V'hamaru da'amar magdish zachal l'dam of kadosh dushas haguf. So over here,
Like before we made a chiluk between kachim mizbeach and kachim berakabayas. Now you're making a chiluk between dushas haguf and dushas damim in kachim mizbeach.
yeah. Zog the Gemara, you said, we know a concept that we say something called a migui. It's not a real migui. It means a migui also means since it becomes kadosh dushas damim. So I'm going to flip it to dushas haguf. If it already has the capability of being dushas damim and it's royal mizbeach, why not make it dushas haguf? Says Gemara lekashya hod agdish kulei hod agdish chad. Oh, I said it, no. I'm going to go back to the video now.
Go back.
Just
Oh,
b'daf.
Amaru the
It's a
Omar.
minute
1 minute.
19. Go back.
Amaru the Omar.
You got it. I'm not going to remember, but you got it.
Amaru the Omar.
V'omaru da'omar. I'm going to say it 3 times now. V'omaru da'omar magdish zochel l'dom of kodesh dushas haguf.
Yeah, what does that mean?
You yourself said that if I designate something as dushas damim, it flips into dushas haguf. It makes a flip for me because that's a migui. That was what I brought down Rashi. Rashi says the migui the nochas like dushas damim nochas like dushas haguf hoybu chazi legufei. Fine. Like Kashi hoda agdish kulei hoda agdish chadever. When I'm only magdish 1 aver, now I have to come onto a second migui to do 2 miguis. I can't do. To say 1 aver turns into a whole body, and a whole body turns into dushas haguf. That I don't do. Chadever nami iboyelon. You asked the question. You weren't so sure. The boy rabba. Higdish aver ledamov ma'u. Do we say 2 miguis? If a guy just was magdish 1 limb, do I make that limb into the whole body and then go from that whole body to the whole to dushas haguf, from domim to dushas haguf? Iboyelon bitam. The question was on an animal that has no blemish, which is royal mizbeach. So if it's royal mizbeach, I could understand. I could go all the way. I could do 2 miguis. I could go from 1 aver to the whole body, from the whole body to dushas haguf, because this is an animal that's royal mizbeach. Dubi the chamor. What's a chamor? A chamor is something you can bring to the mizbeach, and we brought down a chamor, and in the same sentence we brought down a para. So the para is similar to a donkey. I can't be talking about a para that's right from Mizbeach because it's in the same sentence as a chamar, which can't go on the Mizbeach. Obviously, I'm talking about a para that has a mum. So if a para has a mum, I don't go and make miguis and say that should be kedushas aguf. Balmum nami ibuy baylon. What do you mean? You asked the question on a balmum, the boy rabba, the mei roishi, on a human being. There's no greater mum than a human being for a mizbeach. You can't bring a human being on the mizbeach. So if a person says about himself, my head is for the mizbeach, you ask me a kasha whether or not it's mispashed in his whole body. But I can't go on the mizbeach. And you told me if I can't go on the mizbeach, I don't have a kasha. It doesn't go on the whole body. You just asked, so why are you asking a question about a human being? You said on an animal, on a para that can't go on the mizbeach, it's not a tam, it's a balmum. It doesn't go from the head to the rest of the body. So then what are you asking me a kasha on a human being? If a guy said on his head, does it go on the whole body? No, it can't go on the mizbeach, it doesn't go on the whole body. It says Gemara ki boilam kamei de eshma lo hamasniso. He didn't know about this brisa. That's going back to what Reuven Shade said on Shabbos. Some of us didn't know brises. He didn't know about the brisa that if a person says on a slave, the head of the slave is kadosh, it's not kadosh the whole body, right? It doesn't go from the head to the whole body. Okay, now we have a mefurish brisa that says I could say the head of the slave is kadosh, and guess what? It doesn't. The whole body doesn't become kadosh, even though it's a davar and a shama totally boy. The mizbeach only gets 50%. But once he knew it, he didn't have a kasha. What's going to be interesting if you stop right here and just remember this point. He didn't know it. But in a second, the Gemara is going to bring down his question, word for word, and say teku. The teku was before he knew it. But once he knows it, there's no teku anymore. It's like one of the only times I know that we have an answer to the teku. Says the Gemara, here comes the question. We just said the question. The Mei Roishi Legavi Mizbeach Mau. A person says, my head for the Mizbeach. Obviously, before he saw the Brisa. He didn't know the Brisa. What's the question? The Gemara just goes a little bit deeper. Do we say his head is his whole body? Without the head, you have no body. So when he said head, he meant his whole body. So when you take this guy to the marketplace, do you view him just head? Or do you view him entire body? His entire body is worth a lot more than a head. So how much does he have to give to the Beit Kabayis? Says Gemara, anytime somebody donates money, damim, something to damim. Once he says head, he means the whole thing.
No, he doesn't mean no.
Yeah, sorry. Before we said it doesn't. Yes. And Legab Mizbeach, we said that by the head doesn't mean the whole thing. So now we have a conflict here, sort of. We're going to see that more questions that are like that. On the one hand, he said Roishi, and then he said Mizbeach. He said the value, and then he said Mizbeach. You can't bring a human to Mizbeach, so he meant the value of it, the damim of it, but then he said to Mizbeach. So on the one hand, you have Nida Mechvayda, on the other hand, you don't have Nida Mechvayda. So what do you do with this guy, Teku? But it's not a Teku because then later on he saw the Braisa that a person could donate only a head, and the head doesn't go, it's not Nida Mechvayda. It doesn't go from head to the entire body. Don't worry about it. In 2 minutes, we're getting out of the sugya, going back to easier stuff. Erki Olai Legabi Mizbeach. A person mixes up two things. Instead of saying Erki Olai, my erech, whatever the Torah says here, this chart, love this chart. This, instead of saying this, Erki Olai, he says Erki Olai, and then he sticks in a word, Lemizbeach. So he ruined it. That's not erech. Erechin means to bedek habayis. He soys himself, so to speak. Any man that says Erki Olai, Erkoi Olai, those two words, the money goes to Bedek HaBayis. This is actually a special pushka in the Beis HaMikdash. We drop that money in. All Erechin, pushkas Erechin.
We didn't say that Loshi B'nai Adam, when they say Mizbeach, they really mean the Beis HaMikdash.
We're going to see that soon, a little bit different though, in a case where there's no way out of it. But over here, there's a way out of it.
We normally say all
he said Erki,
Gedorim, etc.
Erki is okay. If he stopped right there, it's okay?
No, I understand. Yeah, because that's...
So what you're saying is when it's not okay, when there's nothing okay with what he's saying. Zero, then I could say there's a Lashon B'nai Adam is this. You're stop talking about Erki. I thought you were talking about something else, of a person doesn't stop talk. But over here, okay. He mixed in two concepts.
Maybe
that's
good for what he means. To the domim, because there's a fund for Kabbalah should be always on the Mizbeach.
Okay. So let's see the Gemara. The Gemara explains the question. Nida in behesig yad. What's the Gemara's question? Nida in behesig yad. There ain't nida in behesig yad. Now we're going to a different question. Hesig yad again is the concept of a poor person. This whole chart right here, if you're this age, you're being 5, 20, 50. That's if a person has money. A person is poor. There's a whole new parasha called Hesig Yad. He says, Erki Olai. My value, I'm a poor person, my value. What is my value? All of a sudden, it doesn't go to 5 shekel. It's not 20 shekel anymore.
3 shekel.
We go all the way down to 1 selah. Okay. 1 selah is the minimum. It is the minimum. Less than that, it doesn't happen. But you have to bring it in front of a judge, in front of a kohen, in front of a bezdin, and they say, this guy is mamish worthless. He pays 0 tuition. He doesn't have a job for 5 years. Okay, let me give a selah. The question is, since he stuck in here the word mizbeach, did he ruin it for himself? He's very poor. He has no money. If he would stop at Erki, we would start evaluating him. But since he said mizbeach, there is no such thing as hesed yad on a mizbeach. The concept of hesed yad is only in Arachin. But he said mizbeach. So what do we do here? We're confused. When it comes to the Mizbeach, you always have to give full value. Teku. Over here is a take. Where Ravashi? Same kind of question. Higdish de achuzo legabe Mizbeach mahu. It's de achuzo. Your field that you got, Yerusha, Nachlas Haaretz. If you give it, donate it to Bedek HaBayis, we just had it earlier in the Masechta, you donate it to Bedek, not in the Masechta, no, Mchayres. You donate the field, so you have a pidyon of 50 shekel. 1 shekel per year, so you prorate it. In the beginning of the pidyon, it's the 49 plus a little bit every year, right? You give a little bit. We had that whole thing, a shekel, plus, what is it, punyon, whatever it was. Kalba was something else. A kalba is a machzah shekel, you give a kalba. I think it's a punyan. Punyan. I go with Kimchi in this one. Punyan. Fine. So over here, what the guy did was, instead of donating it like you typically do to Bedek HaBayis, and then you have the whole pidyon, he stuck in, instead of Bedek HaBayis, he stuck in his back. The same question. Since this whole pidyon of 50 shekel is only in Bedek HaBayis, so And b'mizbeach, you have to do it mamish with the value, nothing to do. It's not a special thing. What if you have a field that grows gold? It's 50 shekel. But when it comes to the mizbeach, you have to go with the true value. Teku. All right, now everybody could get back into it. A baby, this chart, as you see in the chart, only starts from 0. Where is it?
5 months.
1 chodesh, sorry, 1 chodesh to 5 years. But over here, less than a month is not on the chart. There is no Arachin for a baby that's less than a month old, like we learned in the first Mishnah. Why is the Gemara bringing this over here? The Mishnah bringing it over here? Like we said in the beginning of the Sugya, that it says it, v'hadim mefarish. Now we're being mefarish what we wrote in the Mishnah. That was the Chiddush here. Okay? It has value. Right? There's unfortunately people that adopt kids. I'm not sure, but I'm sure it goes in the tens of thousands of dollars sometimes. If you want a real good kid from a good family without drugs, people will pay. Why not?
$60,000-$70,000.
$60,000-$70,000 for a baby.
And that's
Wow.
not good.
No, that's you don't pay that for the baby.
What do they take for a 6-year-old?
People.
What?
What do they take for a 12-year-old? I got a 12-year-old.
You have to pay big bucks. I said when the parents are all good, no drugs. I already
In the time of the Gemara, it went much cheaper because you could buy them with the slave market.
You're a slave? Okay. This is a good slave. Whatever. Listen, just make a gabel chaymer. There are dogs. My son came over to me and said, "Look, Daddy, I want to get this dog." I said, "How much is it?" He's very cute. It's $6,000, but it comes with the guy that brings it to you. He flies on the plane with it. I said, "Shkoyach." So, anyways, that was a dog. Okay, so Tana Rabbanon Amarich Pochas Meben Chodesh Rabbi Meir Oy Menoisin Domov V'Chacham Emayrim Eloi Omar Klum. So now Rabbi Meir is Muchod on the Mishnah. He says that even Arachin applies to a baby boy, but it's not in the Torah. How could he argue? Says Rabbi Meir V'Chamer Le'Ukum B'May Pligi Rabbi Meir Savari Nodam Mitzid Dvar Le'Vatala. This guy's not an idiot. He knows that the Torah says there's no Arachin, and he said it anyways. What he meant is. What he meant is, I'm giving value. I'm not giving Arachin. Machlok is whether the person says shtusam or not. Same halacha. Guys, it says in the Torah, humans. This guy says, I want to give the erech of this cup to the Beis Hamikdash. Is he a mabish shoita or noisen damov? No, he has to pay. Why? It obviously goes according to her mayor that ain't no moisi dvar levatala. Pshita the Kurmei asks, of course. Who else? Ma'al the same afilu kurabon. Chasa mudutoi in the parsha of Arachin. You could get confused if you didn't learn Arachin. You could make a mistake between a neder and Arachin. So he used the wrong wording. Chasa mudutoi so okay. Arachin ben chodesh you can have the bachs ben chodesh. No, forget it. Sorry. Over here he's going with more than a chodesh and less than a chodesh. That's the confusion. He doesn't know the chart. He thinks he can do Arachin even to less. So in Mela we have to make a gzeira, sort of. Let him pay in all situations. He pays, so nobody gets confused that above a chodesh you're also potter. But in the kli nobody makes mistakes about the other midei shein erech lekli. So either Chacham will say there's no erech, and in Mela gomar v'amar l'shem damim. What he meant is that. He meant damim and he didn't mean Arachin when he said a kli, kumash malon, that it only goes according to Remeir. But according, if you say that that whole thing of kli only goes according to Remeir, why does he need it? According to Chacham it's a chiddush, but you're saying it only goes according to Remeir. So why would Remeir even say it? Mao the same time the Remeir hasam the goes of pachas ben chodesh otu ben chodesh. Aval hacha by a kli, there's no gzeira. The lekel migzar ema loy. Kamash v'la on time of the Remeir. Now he's explaining what is the reason behind Remeir. At the end of the day, people don't just say things in vain, and when they say it, they mean it. And you're right, he used a wrong lashon of Arachin. What he meant is nidarim. There is no Arachin. If a person says mefurish, I know this nidarim, I know this Arachin, I'm doing the erech on a baby less than a month old, even Remeir would admit. It's just the shayla what he meant here.
How quickly do you have to pay from there?
I don't know.
Gemara discusses it later. I
Yeah.
think you have Shalosh Regalim.
You already asked me a question yesterday. Who asked me about a guy? We were discussing a guy. Mishnah in 2 seconds. So I can't know the whole Masechta. I really know this stuff.
Why not wait until this baby is over 30 days old?
What?
You have time to pay. So wait.
10 minutes.
But it definitely goes by the time that you said. Kimal Azlo Hodo Amarav Barav Yosef Bar Yosef Amarav. Barav Yosef Bar Yosef Amarav. Hamagdish Bemis Chavero, again, another shaita comes around and looks at his friend's animal and goes, oh, I'm being magdish this animal to the Beis HaMikdash. Every baby knows that you can't take your friend's animal and bring it to the Beis HaMikdash. So again, maybe he meant something else. Noisin Domel, he has to pay whatever the value is. Kiman, Kirim Meir. Obviously, it goes like your Meir, then Ein Odom Moitzi Dvar of Levatol. Says the Gemara, Rav Chodazimno, he already said it, Omar Rav Gidol Omar Rav, in the name of Rav. What's the difference between a Kli and an animal? Both people are shaitim, and they're not shaitim, they mean something else. There's a reason in an animal he might say something like this. At the end of the day, the friend could be Magdash. So maybe perhaps, maybe I could buy it off the guy. So let it become Kaddish today. But he didn't mean to switch his words. He's not such an idiot. He really meant Domim and not Arachin. Or Ravashi, we just have to add what?
If you meant Domim, it goes to Kushas Aguf?
Only if it's the whole thing. If the whole animal is Domim.
Yeah, he said Domim. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be Kushas Aguf.
First of all, what happened over here? What did he say? No, he nois in domel, but it doesn't say when he was magdish it. It says magdish. I don't think he's magdish guf. I don't see where it's the Gemara says the word domel, but I think it means the money that he has to pay. Omar Avashi v'udo Omar Alai, Aval Omar Reizulai. Again, another concept in Shasta we learned many times. There's a difference between a person giving an adava to the Beis Hamikdash and a neder to the Beis Hamikdash. An adava means specifically this animal. And a neder means a general thing I'm going to give to the Beis. A person says, and Rashi sticks in very interesting. Rashi says even if he says the word zu, he sticks in nedava and neder in the same sentence, but he meant a neder and he meant I am going to take care of this thing. I am going to give a nedava to a neder to the Beis Hamikdash. Then he's chayav. But he said specifically this animal. The guy's in the shugana. How can he give this animal to the Beis Hamikdash? It's not his. It's somebody else's.
Doesn't catch. Says
the Mishnah Nochri, a goy. So we're asking kashas and we're doing pilpulim yesterday about a goy, not a goy. And looking at the first Mishnah, it says over here, Nochri meiroi men nerach. Oh, we have to bring out this thing. A goy could be nerach. He could be the subject of erichin. Avaloi marich. It was confusing me. I did it for myself. Avaloi marich. He can't be this guy doing it. He can't be the one saying it. He could be a nerach. He could be a subject. He's a human being. He'll be nerach. What? Yeah, but we're talking about Arachin. Why are we going to what? We're going to see. It's psukim here. We're not. There's svaras and psukim. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Marich Avaloi Nerach. He cannot be the subject, but he could be the person doing it. Of course, a goy could obligate himself to the Beis Hamikdash. They ask a question: why is he obligated? He's not obligated. It's he doesn't have to keep his word. It's not Shabbos. If he wants to.
It's a financial obligation.
But he's not mechuyev.
He's mechuyev financial obligation.
That's not what they said.
Yeah, it's
V'nidare, but certainly what he's chayav.
It's not the mitzvah. It's
Yeah.
it's outside.
It's moitzis v'sech tishmo. He's not mechuyev.
He doesn't have
No,
mitzvahs.
he's not. He's subject to financial obligation.
To who?
Okay.
To who?
First of all, quickly,
Who's
real
that
quickly,
obligation to?
Shabbos 6:30 is Bnei Yeshiva. There's no more what's a Shabbos over here for the time being, and a big yishkoyach for Yosef Biliak who put together a new kitchen over there. You'll see if you take a peek. There's a new shayish, so you should koyach to him. Menachem Horowitz is not here, but watching on his video camera right in the corner. Says the Gemara, we have a problem. In the same pasuk, it says Bnei Yisrael, which comes to exclude everybody that's not from Klal Yisrael, meaning Goyim are not in the Parsha of Arachin. And a second later, within the same pasuk, it says Ish. Ish means anybody. So Bnei Yisrael marichim bein Goyim marichim yochel ayu nerachim tamagoyim mar ish divrei Meir. So Meir takes the ribui and says that only a Klal Yisrael could do ma'arichim. They're the ones that say it. But a guy could be nerach because the word ish goes on nerach. He could be the subject. And Rabbi Yehuda says the exact opposite. I'll use the word ish to say he's marich, and the word bnei Yisrael that he's nerach. But they bring a svara. What do I do? I have a riba, I have a miut. They both say the same words, by the way. They use the same thing. It's not true that one is more than the other. But we see the concept, a shaita that has no das, he can't say erki alai or erch pleni alai, but somebody can look at him and say, look, he's a human being, I want his erech. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, and the Gemara is going to say that's very shver, because the cheresh shayda has no das. What's the comparison to a guy that can have 170 IQ? Rabbi Yehuda Omer, b'nei Yisrael ne'erochim, b'nei Goyim ne'erochim, yochol lo yu marichim, tamaloy merish. So he just learns the opposite. A guy could do harach, he could point at somebody and say, I am marich you, but he can't be the subject. Why? Because there's a mir in the bosom. He brings a raya from Tumtum van Drogenos. Marichim, they're smart people. They're like goyim. Marichim avaloy nerachim. They can look at somebody else and say, I want erech pleni alai, but nobody can look at them and say erech tumtum on me because they're not vadai. Okay, so a guy should be like that. Omarava hilchas Rabbi Meir mistabra. I like Rabbi Meir's halacha that a guy cannot do mayrich. He's nerach, but not mayrich, because we're going to see it fits very well into the pasuk. Time Elohim mistabra. I don't understand this logic. Time of the review the mistabra. I like Rabbi Yehuda's svara to compare them to tumtum that has das. Hilchas Elohim mistabra. That what a guy could do haracha. Look at this. I mean, it's not logically. A guy could point at somebody and says, Erki Alai, but he can't be the subject. He can't be laying in bed and be part of it. Why not? It's like, this is a lot more chashuv, l'chayr, no? The guy doing it, the guy saying it.
It's the shlemiel and the shlemazel.
Next time. You do it. You make one of those. Okay, so the Gemara explains, it says in the pasuk in Ezra, I don't want the Goyim's money. Don't participate in my Beis Hamikdash. You Jews, you bring the money, you take care of me, you build my house. I don't want any Goyish money.
That's what the guy can't do.
So in Mela, how could a guy be married? A Jew could say, I want the value of the guy. Me, the Jew, I'm going to give the money to Beis Hamikdash. But I don't want any guy giving money here. And the Gemara goes away from this. Why is he comparing it? What's the comparison? They have no das and the guy has das. Time Rabbi Yehuda makes a lot of sense. You see that a person that could be a very, very smart person, but the Torah says nevertheless he can't be nerach. He can't be the subject. Hilcha say how could a guy give to the Beis Hamikdash when it says Mefurish in Ezra, I don't want your money? Rabbi Yehuda the Torah says, I don't want your money. I'm not going to take your money. I will take it, put it away in a safe, and never look at it again. I'm not going to use it for my Beis Hamikdash. I'll take it. You want to give it to me? Fine. I have zero anah from it. Elomeato, as the Gemara Bam Kasha. That's true. I take your money and put it away. I bury it. Then there shouldn't be any mi'ila on it. Meaning, if somebody uses it, he shouldn't be over. Why? Because anytime I'm not going to use it in the future, the kedusha goes away from it. How do I see that? If a person dies before he gives his chatos, what do we do with the chatos? You let it die. So what happens if somebody comes and rides it, takes a little ride with it, or plows his field with this animal that has to die? He's not over amina. You shouldn't, but if you did, you don't bring a chaymish and a hashim v'chulu. How come it says that there's me'ilah? You said it's nignaz. That pasuk in Ezra is a one-time thing in history. Ezra was concerned that the goyim, it's a very interesting thing. He's concerned that the goyim are going to give money. It happens all the time. Like a father-in-law, he gives you a little money, and all of a sudden he tells you where to live, what to do. Or then he goes to Baldavar. I don't want your money. I'm my own independent person. It says in Rashi, he was worried that Kairish is going to take the money, and he's going to start saying, no, let's push it off a little bit. Let's not start. I think we should do this. Oh, he's a Nadvin. He's a this. You can't do anything to him.
Especially they had a lot of trouble with the people that were there that didn't want to build place in English.
Yeah.
They were marching him.
Rashi explains a little bit different. He says
That what?
They're going to make it build very, very strong, and they'll manage to convince Kairish to start building.
It's a delaying tactic.
Maisa Shaya in Chicago, I just realized, there's a guy in the shul, used to come in at 10 o'clock, talk louder than can be, come in laughing, and the Rav wouldn't say a word to him, not one word, because this guy was the wealthiest guy in Chicago, or and he supported the whole shul. You can't say it. The guy gives money, that's it. But I don't want your money, I don't want to delay the Beis Hamikdash, let's just finish the thing. Shabbos 6:30. You're out of here? Wow. This is instead of Sunday.